You click buy tickets and see a fair price. Then you hit checkout and the number mutates. Service fees, processing fees, facility fees. Suddenly, you're paying for the privilege of paying. You tell yourself it's inflation. You tell yourself it's the artist. You tell yourself it's just how it works. Because what else are you supposed to do when the show sells out in minutes? But that moment at checkout isn't random. It's designed. It's part of an extraction system that touches the venue, the promoter, the platform, and the add-ons. In a normal market, you'd walk away. You'd buy somewhere else. But this system is built so somewhere else barely exists. Live Nation calls it a flywheel. And every time you click checkout, the wheel spins again. Scroll 1. The checkout trap. You don't notice the extraction system at the start. You notice it at checkout. That's where the ticket stops being a ticket and becomes a stack. Here's the moment everyone recognizes. You see a $79 ticket and you think, okay, that hurts, but I can do it. Then checkout turns it into $110, then $125, then $140, depending on the fees and add-ons attached. And the worst part is the timing. The fees appear after you've already committed emotionally. You've picked the date, rallied friends, pictured the night, and now the timer is counting down. So your brain does the math under pressure. You don't compare options because there aren't many options. You don't slow down because you're afraid the tickets will disappear. That's why the fee stack works. It's not just pricing, it's psychology. Urgency compresses your thinking into one question. Do I want this enough to swallow it? And the checkout page is built to keep you swallowing. Service fee, processing fee, facility fee. Sometimes an order fee on top because the system can charge you for grouping the charges. Then the upsells show up like a second wave. Parking, VIP. Fast lane entry. Platinum. The ticket becomes the entry point, and everything around it becomes monetizable surface area. Here's a relatable example. Two people plan a concert night and budget $200 total for tickets. Checkout pushes it to $260, then parking turns it into $320, then just one drink turns it into something else. And by the end, you're not asking, is this fair? You're asking, is it worth it? That's the quiet trick. Fairness gets replaced by resignation. Because you can complain about fees all day, but the moment you want to actually go, you still have to pay. And that's when the system stops feeling like a market and starts feeling like a toll road. In a real market, toll roads compete. You take a different route. But with live events, the route is often predetermined by exclusive relationships you never see. So you blame the artist, you blame inflation, you blame demand. Anything except the structure that makes the fees unavoidable. That's why this story isn't just Ticketmaster charges fees. It's how the flywheel turns your desire into a deadline, then sells you the solution to the deadline. And once you've paid once, you're trained. Next time you expect the sting. You brace for it, and bracing becomes acceptance. Scroll 2, the flywheel. The reason the checkout trap keeps working is simple. You can't avoid it. Not because you don't want to, but because the system makes avoidance expensive. In a normal market, ticketing is one layer, promoting is another, venues are another. Those layers negotiate, compete, and threaten to walk away when one gets too greedy. The flywheel flips that logic. It connects the layers so each one protects the next. Ticketing reinforces venues. Venues reinforce promotion. Promotion reinforces ticketing. Here's the plain language version. If one company can influence where tours go and where shows happen, it can influence how tickets are sold. And if it can influence how tickets are sold, it can shape the rules at checkout. That's what makes it an extraction system. The ticket is the entry point, but the margins live in the edges. The fees, the upgrades, the premium, the parking, the packages, the last-minute add-ons. The flywheel isn't just about charging more. It's about making the buyer feel like there's no alternative. Because when the best tours go to the biggest venues and the biggest venues use the same ticketing rails, choice becomes illusion. This is why people feel powerless. You can boycott one fee, but you can't boycott seeing your favorite artist forever. And the system knows that desire is stronger than outrage when the timer is ticking. It also explains why the experience feels identical across different events. Different artists, different cities, same pattern. Because you're not just buying access to a concert, you're buying into a standardized toll system. And once a toll system becomes normal, it gets bolder. It learns what you will tolerate, then nudges the line upward. That's the flywheel's real power. It doesn't need to trick every person. It only needs enough people to keep clicking checkout. Scroll 3. The fee stack. Once the flywheel's in place, the fees stop looking like add-ons. They start looking like a second business. Because the ticket price is only the front door. Different names, same effect. The final price rises after you're already committed. And this isn't just about the ticket. The system learns it can monetize everything around the ticket. Parking becomes tiers, entry becomes tiers, better becomes a product. So a normal night out becomes a menu of pressure points. General parking, premium parking, VIP parking, closer grass, closer entrance, preferred lot. Then the seat itself becomes a ladder. Standard seats, platinum seats, official resale seats. The same section can feel like it's changing price in real time, even when you didn't change anything. That's why fans feel like they're being played. Not because they don't understand supply and demand, but because the rules keep shifting inside one checkout flow. Here's what it looks like in real life. You budget $100 per ticket and tell a friend you can make it work. At checkout, the total jumps, and now you're doing social math under a timer. Do we still go if it's $260 for two? Do we add parking now or gamble later? Do we buy the protected option because we're already spending too much to risk losing it? That's how upcharges compound. One decision creates the excuse for the next decision. And the flywheel rewards compounding. Because every extra charge does two things. It increases revenue and it trains you to accept the next increase. That's the real business model. Normalize the sting, then raise the ceiling. Movie tickets do it, online booking fees and convenience charges that appear at checkout. Third-party travel sites do it, resort fees, service fees, and extras that show up after you commit. Concerts do it too. The fee stack isn't a glitch, it's the business model. Scroll 4. Why nobody can just switch. If you hate the fees, the obvious question is why venues don't switch ticketing companies. Why not pick a cheaper platform and win fans overnight? Because the flywheel isn't just pricing, it's leverage. And leverage works best when it's quiet. In the live events world, the biggest advantage isn't a better checkout page. It's control over the relationships that decide where shows happen. When a promoter has deep reach and long-standing ties, venues care. When an operator has long contracts and exclusivity, competitors get locked out. That's why choice becomes an illusion. Even if alternatives exist, they often don't have the same access to the biggest tours and rooms. And this is where the accusations get serious. Critics and regulators argue retaliation and pressure can keep venues in line, even when fans complain. Because the threat doesn't have to be loud to be effective. It just has to be credible. A venue doesn't want to gamble on losing major tours. An artist's team doesn't want to gamble on a broken ticketing rollout. So the safest path is to stay inside the system everyone already uses. And the system knows that safety is worth money. That's the heart of monopoly power. Not we charge fees, but you can't route around them. And once you can't route around them, the fee stack becomes predictable revenue. It stops being a risk of backlash and becomes a baseline assumption. Scroll 5. The receipts. This isn't just fans complaining on social media. Regulators and states have accused Live Nation and Ticketmaster of using monopoly power to block competition across the live concert ecosystem. In plain language, the accusation is this: If one company can influence the tours, the venues, and the ticketing rails, it can make competitors feel unsafe to challenge it. A federal jury in New York reportedly found the company operated as an illegal monopoly. The same coverage says consumers in 22 states paid an extra $1.72 per ticket tied to the conduct alleged in that case. But that $1.72 number is not the whole checkout pain. It's a court damages measure in that specific trial, while the fee stack fans see can be far larger depending on the event. And then there's the part that made people angrier than any spreadsheet. Internal messages shown in court coverage described fans as stupid and joked about robbing concert goers with parking and upsells. Scroll 6, the takeaways. Here's the part nobody wants to hear at checkout. You're not just buying a seat. You're buying your way through an extraction system that can charge you at every step. So protect yourself the way you would in any rigged marketplace. Slow down before you click. Screenshot the price before checkout and the final price after, so you can see what changed. Look for the fee stack, not just the ticket price. Service, processing, facility, and order fees are where totals jump. If the fees are vague or bundled, treat that as a warning sign, not a detail. Assume add-ons are part of the plan. Parking tiers, VIP upgrades, premium seating labels, official resale, and platinum are designed to widen what you'll tolerate. If you don't need them, don't buy them under pressure. And don't do social math with a timer if you can avoid it. Decide your budget before the sale starts. Because the timer isn't there for your convenience. It's there to compress your judgment. If you're buying for a group, agree on a ceiling price in advance. That prevents the "we already made it this far" trap that checkout is built around. Remember what the flywheel does. It connects the rooms so you can't easily root around the fees. That's why the anger stays the same year after year, even when the interface changes. This isn't just about one company or one charge. It's about a structure that turns live music into a toll road. And the toll goes up fastest when you believe you have no alternative. Fees are the modern checkout. Airlines have their own version until the whole system flips off. Watch Spirit's airline overnight collapse right now.